thank you for being here. It's been a minute since I've done a live with one of my clients, but we're back. And today I have one of my clients, Rachel, with me, and she is going to tell us a little bit about the changes that she made. She's overcome quite a bit of health stuff, I would say, in the last year. And hey guys, hello. We're going to talk about the health things that she's overcome and the changes that she made and how just basically the quality of her life has improved, and she's a new woman. So Rachel, if you want to introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about you, and then tell us a little bit about why you want to start making some changes.
Okay. My name's Rachel Boss. I am a 41-year-old grandmother and mother of 6. I, until the past year, have been nearly bedridden for about 5 years, dealing with, mystery health issues that no one could figure out, joint pain, swelling, exhaustion, weight gain, just absolutely miserable. Couldn't, be in my children's life the way I wanted to. I had to quit my job. I was a regional manager of a local retail store for a decade. I had to leave that job because I couldn't work anymore. And, doctor after doctor gave diagnosis after diagnosis. I had my breast implants removed because I was like, maybe that's causing it. And nothing really fixed the problems until I met you.
Well, I'm not going to take the credit for that. They're just making some changes, yeah. Okay, so yeah, she had a lot of, you thought you had a lot of autoimmune stuff. What you do? You've got a couple of things autoimmune.
So rheumatoid arthritis is the most recent diagnosis. That's officially what they have said. But lifestyle changes are huge with rheumatoid arthritis, even if that is the diagnosis. But that was not, all of it. That was definitely not the cause of everything, for sure.
So what was your main motivator that made you want to start? So she started with me. I should tell you a little bit. She started with exercise with me. For those of you that don't know, I train in my house, small groups of women, personal training. And so she started with that with me. I don't even remember how you got started with that, because we're neighbors and we've lived next door to each other for 5 years, and she just recently started with me the middle of this year.
So it was June. It was the end of June. Yeah.
So what made you, I guess, because you knew what I did and all that kind of stuff. So what made you just have enough and finally be like, okay, I'm going to try this?
So it was multiple things. I literally was afraid I was going to die every day. It was that bad. It was like sleeping 18 hours a day. It was, when I would get up, like when I would force myself, the kids would have something to do, or there would be something going on before I quit my job. I would literally, you saw it. I would break out in blisters. I would have physical symptoms from exhaustion. It was crazy. And I just, I couldn't live like that anymore. I couldn't even walk next door to your house to come to, a friendly gathering or anything because I was exhausted. And I couldn't live like that anymore. But I think the thing that finally turned the table with the misery of like, I'm going to do this was how kind you were about it. Just always offering and never pushing. I never felt bad about it. I never felt like you were acting better than you were. You were just so helpful. It made me comfortable enough to do it.
Good. Well, good. Because that's my goal.
Yeah. Well, you're doing it.
Okay. Well, good. Okay. So we started with exercise and we started slow. I started you actually with cardio on the bike. So that was something that could be easily titrated. You could get a little bit of sweat in. We were outside. You got fresh air. And then we started bringing in strength training. And what happened when you started bringing in strength training?
Oh my gosh. Everything changed. It was night and day. I felt better when we would do the bike. After I would do the bike, after maybe the first couple weeks, I would feel so much better for a couple hours. It was crazy, but the strength training, it literally changed my life. I can't believe that a doctor didn't prescribe strength training at some point. It made such a difference. I almost can't even remember how bad it was because it's gotten so much better. It was crazy.
Well, and that's one thing we've talked about a lot too. In the year, how many years would you say all of that lasted?
About 6 years.
6 years, and not once in 6 years. And this isn't bashing doctors or anything, but this is just showing you where our medical system is. Not once in those 6 years did anybody ever say, "What's your diet like?" Are you exercising? Are you doing this? Maybe you should change some of the things that you're eating, you know, some of that kind of stuff. It was just medication. I mean, she even had, like she said, she had a surgery. She had her breast implants removed because she thought that's what was making her so sick. I mean, down to doing huge surgeries, you know, to make yourself feel better. And not once did anybody ever say, what is your lifestyle like?
Never. No, and nobody, I have been prescribed probably 15 pills over that 5 years, you know, just one thing after another. And, you know, of course, pills will work momentarily, but they come with all the stuff that comes with it. Yeah. Weight training doesn't come with any side effects that I felt, at least. So yeah, it really changed my life. It's just a shock and I like my doctor. I think they, you know, did the best they could with the information that they had, but I'm just really surprised that more doctors aren't telling women in their 40s particularly to, you know, go lift some weights.
Yeah, right. So, okay, so then let's get into a little bit of the nutrition. So we got started with exercise, and I've talked about this a lot. If you are looking to make changes, I don't honestly think you should go nutrition and exercise at the exact same time. I think it's too much. It's overwhelming. It can cause frustration. It can cause burnout. So I do typically recommend clients starting with one or the other, and doing one or the other consistently tends to lend to feeling better, having more energy, and then naturally you start leaning into the second piece of it, and you want to do more of that second piece because you start feeling good and you start seeing how much better you can feel, and then you really want to like amplify that and make it feel even better. So then we got into nutrition and we started doing nutrition. And I guess you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, eating has always been an issue because I like food, but I haven't had to, you know, not eat things that I want. You know, it's been reasonable, and you know, as far as, you know, just little things like eating protein in the morning, eating protein after you exercise, you know, the right amount of protein. That right there has made as a big of a change as the bless you. Excuse me. As big a change as the you know, lifting has. I was like plateaued at about 205 pounds, and I was coming here, you know, 4 days a week, 5 days a week sometimes, and still, you know, wasn't losing any weight. And just that little change, just eating more, lean protein, protein shakes in the morning. I mean, immediately. I think I've lost 15 pounds since then, since we put that tiny little change in
there. Yeah. So how much have you lost total?
Total altogether, I have lost, since all of this started, I've lost 56 pounds. I've lost 46 pounds just this year.
Just this year.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Really, really
when
good.
I look back on pictures, I can't even believe it. I don't remember being that heavy, but I remember being that miserable. So.
Okay. All right. What are the these are the questions I ask everybody that does these. What are the three biggest takeaways or things that have become habits or non-negotiables for you, or, you know, lifestyle things since making these changes for you?
So, exercise, even when I don't want to, even when I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to do this, which is a lot of days. You know, I got a lot of kids. I have a grandson. It's a lot. And I just do it. And every time, without a doubt, I feel better. I never regret that I got up and did it. Keeping track of your food. I mean, actually paying attention to what you're eating, not just assuming, that you're eating the right thing. Right. Paying attention to it, keeping track of it, being mindful of it. And then, as far as what has kept me on track, the third thing would be, finding somebody that you trust to help you with it. Somebody that you, you have helped me so much. So, I truly believe that you know what you're talking about. You have changed my life. And the group of women that you have here, it's always, everybody is always kind. There's no judgment. It's not like going to a gym, alone, where you feel like people are looking at you if you don't know what you're doing. Yeah. And those top three things, but definitely, feeling comfortable, having somebody that, treats you good and that really is trying to help you.
Okay. That's cool. That's sweet again.
Okay. I mean, it's all true. It's all true. I have
a good group of ladies.
You
I really
do.
try to create an atmosphere, either online with my coaching or in there, where I tell my clients that, you know, they'll apologize for things. I'm like, you never need to apologize for me. Like, there's no judgment here. If you didn't hit your goals, I don't care. You know, it's not my stuff. We'll just figure out why, and we'll figure out another way to get you there, you know, like, just because it's lifestyle and it's habits, and you want people to incorporate this and stick with it. So finding those ways is just huge. You know?
In the
really
beginning,
huge.
I would always, you know, when I couldn't, lift the 5 pounds and we had to go down to the 3 pounds, and I was like, oh, I hate myself for, you know, letting myself get like this. And you'd be like, no, everybody's got to start somewhere. You're doing it. You're doing it. And that, you know, it was a big deal.
Yeah. What would you say is your number one piece of advice for a woman that's maybe somewhat in your spot, that just has no energy, that feels it keeps going to the doctor and feels like you just keep getting run around? What would be your biggest piece of advice?
Man, you have to look elsewhere. I wouldn't say don't listen to your doctor, because obviously I can't say that.
Right. I'm
not a doctor. I don't know, but there are other options. Find somebody that can help you. You know, look into what you're eating, and weight training. I mean, that would be it. It's you're not going to get too bulky. You're not going to, look like a man or whatever people are afraid of. It doesn't happen like that. But it makes you feel so good. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. It's night and day.
Yeah. You feel like, I always say I like my women to get strong to where you don't feel like, it's nice to have help to do things, but if you get some hair up your butt and you want to get up in the attic and pull some boxes down, you can do it. Like, you don't have to wait.
Yeah, I put up my own Christmas lights this weekend. You saw. Yeah. I can't tell you the last time I did it. It's been 10 years since I've gotten out there and put up Christmas lights. And my husband was out of town, and I said, I want the Christmas lights up, and I did it. So, I never would have been doing that. Even last year. Yeah. There's no way. There's no way.
Those kind of things. Yeah. Those are the wins right there.
It really, really is. It's crazy. Just everyday life. Not feeling terrible. Just walking around your house, living your life.
And doing what you want to do, and not having to wait on anybody else to help you do it. Yeah. Independence.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have anything else that you want to share?
No. I mean, if anybody that, doesn't know Cynthia is watching, I would give her a call if you're looking for a change, if you're up for it. I mean, it's not an ad, but you know that I feel that way. Right. You've really changed my life. It's been huge. So. It has. It's a big deal.
Well, don't cry. You're going to make me cry. Well, that's good. But this, I just wanted to have her on here because I have a lot of women that I work with that have a lot of issues, a lot of hormonal, autoimmune type issues. And I feel like she's a really good inspiration for other women, knowing you just feel like when you're at the bottom of the barrel, you've been pushed doctor to doctor, medication to medication, and you feel like this is my life and what it's going to be. It doesn't have to be that way.
It really doesn't. You can
take control, and and it's hard. It was hard. Oh, it was hard.
It was really hard. It was hard. But having support and trusting that somebody is telling you what to do, that it is going to help you, and then seeing the benefits, it makes it worth it. Yeah, it's not going to be easy. It's not easy in the beginning, but
it's not easy.
But it gets easier and easier, and it gets more and more rewarding. I mean, I don't even recognize myself sometimes when I look in the mirror from a couple of years ago. It's crazy.
Yeah. I know she shared some pictures with me, which this is going to be on my YouTube channel as well. And I'll share some of the pictures of Rachel before, some of the issues she had. Her hands used to swell. She would break out in blisters. Some of the stuff that she was talking about, I'll share some of that so you can see some of the things that she was dealing with, and going to the doctors and getting the medication and being like, why is this happening to me? And just never getting a real answer, just one thing after the other and one medication after the other. But she finally took the thing by the hand and got here and started doing the work, and it's paying off for her big time. So
it seems like a lot less work though than going to the doctor and going through all the medications. I mean, in the beginning it seems like a lot, but in the end this is way easier.
Well, it's I love that saying, it's choose your hard. Feeling like shit is hard. Working out is hard. Choose your hard.
It's definitely easier than living in your bed.
Right. And quality life. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys being here. Bye.